The internet has been losing its mind over Atlas for 5 months, spinning theories that range from fascinating to absolutely unhinged. And honestly, some of them are so creative, you almost want them to be true. But here's the thing about wild speculation versus actual data. Sometimes the truth is stranger than the conspiracy, and sometimes the conspiracy theorists are grasping at shadows while missing what's actually staring them in the face. Let's start with the wildest one floating around right now. Project Bluebeam truthers are convinced Atlas is a NASA hologram designed to fake alien contact and justify world government takeover, which would be impressive, except for one small problem. China photographed it independently. Amateur astronomers worldwide are tracking it with backyard telescopes. And unless NASA somehow convinced every astronomer on Earth, including their geopolitical rivals, to participate in an elaborate hoax, this theory dies on basic logistics alone. Then there's the collision doomers predicting Atlas will suddenly change course and impact Earth, creating extinction-level devastation. Except JPL tracks its trajectory with precision down to thousands of kilometers, and it's passing 170 million miles away, which means it would need to execute a physics-defying maneuver using energy sources we haven't detected to threaten us. So unless it's hiding a Star Trek warp drive, we're safe. But here's where it gets interesting, because while we're debunking the obvious nonsense, the actual data is presenting genuine mysteries that don't need embellishment. Atlas really does have 13 statistical anomalies, with combined odds in the billions to 1 against natural occurrence. It really is heading toward Jupiter's Hill radius with suspicious precision. It really is surrounded by 1 trillion objects that don't evaporate like normal comet debris. The anti-tail really does point toward the sun in defiance of radiation pressure. These aren't theories, these are measurements. And they're bizarre enough without inventing holograms and doomsday scenarios. The most frustrating thing about conspiracy theories is they distract from legitimate questions that deserve answers. Why did NASA revise their trajectory model within 48 hours of Loeb exposing the Jupiter coincidence? Why hasn't anyone produced the time-lapse imaging that would prove whether the 16-hour pulse follows the sun or points in arbitrary directions? Why does the swarm maintain stable configuration without sublimating? We don't need Bluebeam fantasies when the actual data is this strange. We don't need collision prophecies when the real trajectory is statistically impossible. The truth about Atlas is already extraordinary. We just need to stop drowning it in noise and start demanding answers to the questions the measurements are actually raising. December 19th brings definitive spectroscopy data that will settle whether those jets are thermal sublimation or something else entirely. And that reality is far more compelling than any theory someone cooked up in a Reddit thread at 3 a.m.